want to shout questions out too. You know, just kind of keep the dialogue going because he'll edit all this together.
Right.
And
so then they called your. So how did you?
Ready? 1 second, guys. Ready and go for it now.
Friends and family, thank you for joining me here at the American News Network with Chris Sanders. I'm here with the January 6er that was just freed 3 days ago. So we have won. We've taken over the Capitol, and this is proof of it because freedom has prevailed. Jesus Christ has won. Those of us that have believed are standing in front of you. And it wasn't but just 4 years ago where innocent Americans were made hostages and attacked at their homes. Families were split apart. Parents were separated from their children. And even mothers passed away while their babies were in prison. I'm standing here with Gregory Purdy. He is a survivor. He is a hostage. And he was made a hostage in the United States of America. We hear about hostages in Israel, but we don't hear about the hostages in the United States of America, which to me, this is a much bigger subject. And this man lost his mother to cancer while he was in prison. And you know what? You're innocent, and this is not a criminal. Gregory is a real estate professional in New York. And how has this changed your life?
I mean, you know, talk about being hunted down by your own government, and that's exactly what it was. A week after it happened, the FBI was on my doorstep.
Wow.
I get a call from my mother. She was at the house. She says, they're here. I say, who's here?
Did it terrify her?
Actually, I got to say, my mom was pretty tough. She was calm and cool under pressure. Probably terrified me a little bit just getting that. I didn't expect it.
What about your dad? How did he respond?
He was pretty tough too, but we definitely all were pretty terrified on the inside.
Yeah.
You know, whether we wanted to admit it or not.
Did they like show up with like search warrants or?
They showed up like it was an investigation looking for me. Both of them in the typical suits that you see, just came up on our porch, were looking for us. About a day or two after the protest at the Capitol, my face was everywhere. They were looking for me. I'm getting messages from friends and family. Oh, they're looking for you. They're saying these terrible things about you. They're saying that you're a terrorist, an insurrectionist. I'm like, what?
And that's just because you went to see the president on January 6th, or?
Just because I went to have our voices be heard about this election.
I thought actually everybody was going to go celebrate a victory, and then it got flip-flopped on us actually.
Yeah.
So it's just like, my mom was really sick with cancer at the time too, or I would have actually showed up, but I was at home like taking care of my mom with cancer.
Right.
And so I couldn't make it. Mm-hmm. And but I was going to show up to celebrate Trump's victory.
Right.
I was convinced we had won.
Exactly.
In fact, I'm still convinced we still did win because there's 20 million votes that have disappeared.
Yes.
And I think that this election proves even more hardcore that the last election was stolen.
I absolutely agree. You know, people, they forget, right? On election night, Trump was winning. We all went to bed so happy.
Right.
I know you remember
exactly.
that moment.
Oh, I do. That's why I was going to show up, but then my mom was so sick.
Right.
So was your mom sick at all during this time?
My mom had cancer.
Okay.
Okay.
And you said it was a muscle kind of cancer?
Yeah, cancer of the muscle, sarcoma.
Sarcoma.
About 1 in a million people get it.
Right.
She was sick, and she was coming toward the end of things. In this malicious, vindictive prosecution, knowing that she was sick, still tried to destroy my entire family. They went after me. They went after my brother. They went after my uncle. We all went to jail.
So how many family members? How many of your family members did they arrest? It seems like they targeted you.
3 out of 4, and the 4th one they had on the wanted list for the FBI. They were trying to arrest him too.
And did they show any compassion to you, knowing, hey, Gregory's mother's dying?
None whatsoever, and they knew about it too because we let it be known on the record in court.
Okay. So to me, this is kind of like cruel and unusual punishment, and it's also like they victimized you. I mean, the mental anguish and everything that you must suffer from this must be just...
It's horrible. You know, it definitely does scar you a little bit.
Yeah.
But on the positive end of things, because we always try to keep it positive, it gives you a motivation to bring justice to our criminal system, to help bring true and just judges that are going to come in and uphold the Constitution, uphold our rights, so that we never have something happen like this again. This is what they do in communist countries.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They just did it in Venezuela this summer. Do you know? Did you see?
No, I didn't.
They arrested over 2,000 people in Venezuela because they thought and actually it was, that their election was stolen.
I heard that. I heard
Yeah.
that.
Venezuela's not the best, you know?
Usually it's us. I've
Yeah.
heard that our CIA has kind of rigged all the elections, not only in South America, but Africa. You know, it goes back to Haile Selassie, and we've really kind of tinkered with the world. That's
Yeah.
actually why Carter made it to where the CIA couldn't go around murdering people anymore. A lot of people don't know that, but
Right.
you know, then he also gave away the Panama Canal. That didn't help.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of changes that are happening now.
Absolutely.
Do you feel free at this time, or do you even know what's going on? Or
Yes and no. I feel free because I'm physically broken from the chains and I'm out of jail and I'm with my beautiful family. But my mind is not 100% free because there's still some baggage that you carry.
well, I'd like to bring your beautiful girlfriend up here if she can come up here, and she's not wanting to. You don't want to, yeah? Well, I think
Do you want to come in?
I think it'd be something beautiful for America to see. Just
Honey, come in real quick.
you don't have to say anything.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
I just want people to see, you know, what they're doing, you know, in America, and to break up beautiful families. You know what I'm saying? And what a fantastic woman to.
She really is.
Yeah, to stay with your man through this ordeal, because come on, a lot of people get lost during those times, you know. So I mean, dedication is dedication.
And she's not just saying that, you know.
So anyways, we're also talking about health and the water. And believe it or not, and this is something for all the January 6ers out there, you're going to find, and we're talking about this at the table, on how your prostate's going to be affected from the poisonous water in the system. So they load you up full of chlorine so badly that your prostate barely functions on your way out. And at the table with all the January 6ers we just talked to, I think it's 100% all of you guys have prostate issues, correct?
Oh, 100%. I mean, not to get too deep, but you're going pee and you're not peeing the same way. I mean, you can't, it's not as forceful. And that's the issues that you're talking about. And Chris is an expert on this. He's teaching me.
So I've been telling about the absinthe and the black walnut shells and the cloves, but also staying on distilled water, pushing out all that chlorine, because they're trying, you know, they caked you with chlorine in the pineal gland and everything, but it's been something.
You looked at the water in there. We would eat peanut butter, and then once the peanut butter jar was done, that was like a cup, right? And it was clear.
Oh God! So you'd use peanut butter bags as your
peanut butter cups. That was our only really
other food. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And you pour the water in it if it's in the morning.
Right.
And there's all this mist in it. You can't see through it.
Oh God.
And we just wonder, what are we drinking?
And that's all you had.
That's all we had. There was no option.
Well, come on in here with us. Yeah. Let's do an introduction here. Let's get as close as possible so this all gets in the same frame here. So this is family right here. And by the way, so we have contractor and, you know, real estate professional from New York. These are Americans that basically are helping out kids. You know, Gregory has done nothing but looking low income housing and stuff. And these are the criminals of the United States of America from Jack Wagon Joe, huh? So right now, Joe, I hope you're listening up there in New York, Joe Iorio, where we're going to do a lot of good things for kids. But we got to bring America together. And these are the guys that I want us to keep on going with. I want all these guys to have positions of power and Doge and everything else. But again, let's talk about that. Your prostate too feels affected?
Oh, yeah. Going to the bathroom, barely a dribble. It's scary. It's honestly scary. You know, and it's tough to talk about. That's something you don't really want to bring up. But luckily, we're getting some help here.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And so again, it's like, and I had a lot of friends that died years later after this type of stuff from things. So really ABCs, I say absinthe, black walnut shells, cloves, ivermectin, fenbendazole, distilled water. We got to chelate all of those harmful things out of the system. And so the plans are not just to build, but we got to make America great again. And just so you know, audience, we're starting a Doge Reporter Commission. And I want guys that's lives have been affected to be on a part of this, because we got to have retribution. Secondly, if you're a good attorney out there and you'd like to be on board this family, I need the best attorneys in the world to join us in a class action lawsuit, mental anguish, pain and suffering. What Jack Wagon Joe did to this family is completely unacceptable to me. I know it's completely unacceptable to you too. We have good people here that have not done anything wrong, and they were victimized by a country that, in my opinion, was throwing, this last administration threw an insurrection against our government, pure and simple. And
We know the truth. We know the truth. Trump won.
yeah.
I'll go to my grave with that.
Yeah,
Trump won.
in
Yeah,
fact,
absolutely.
in fact, everybody showed up because they were thinking they were showing up to a victory, and then it got turned around into an insurrection. And like I try to say, ecstasy, Viagra, insurrection. You know,
I went home proud that day. I went home proud.
Yeah.
Thinking we did the right thing.
Yeah.
Knowing we did the right thing.
Yeah.
And to look at the news and look at the way they disgraced all our names.
Right, and
Ridiculous.
doesn't it
they
say
can't get away with that?
the Constitution that we have the right to peacefully assemble?
Yes, we do.
Okay. And the only person that got murdered was Ashley Babbitt.
Yeah.
I mean, so, any other news on that? Look at everybody else. They killed us. We didn't do anything.
And you know what's crazy? In court, they precluded First Amendment arguments. I mean, this is the people's house. You're
That's-
allowed to come here,
Right.
and you're allowed to have your grievances heard. You have to have your voice heard. You can peacefully assemble.
Yeah.
And they didn't let you argue the First Amendment because that was one of the points that you would win. They call it a motion limine, and we couldn't make any of those arguments. It was
Okay.
crazy.
At the house where our rights should have been the strongest. Our First Amendment rights should have been the strongest at this house.
Yes.
And they took it away from
And
us.
they basically, then we learned that they're FBI agents that let you guys in, and it was like a guided tour and everything.
Yep,
It
exactly.
was an inside job.
So it was a setup completely.
100%.
Okay, so then here, I want you to think about this. They were set up, separated from their mother's, father's family, and then his mom died of cancer. This is unacceptable to me. I need a law team from every state, and we need to get our country to where, these people need to be held accountable, period. And that's just a straight fact. So in New York, you're going back there?
We're going back to New York here. We've got a couple guys in here in DC jail that are still being held hostage.
Do you know who they are?
My good friend Joseph Hutchinson, Olivia Pollock, who's Jonathan Pollock's.
Olivia's still in?
Yes, but she should be getting out today. Hopefully, if the jail doesn't play any more games, we've been having a lot of call to actions and outreach. So hopefully she gets out today. We're praying, we're praying.
And
We're
the guy-
hoping momentarily.
The guy's in because of a misdemeanor charge in Florida, correct? Or something like that?
That's Dominic Box, yeah.
Dominic Box. Now, by the way, I want the citizens of Florida to petition Ron DeSantis. You have what's called supreme veto power in that state. So even though Trump couldn't do a pardon for you because it's a state crime, well, we have a lazy judge, and we're going to address that judge. I want all the Republicans to bind together, and we're going to address this judge. But we need all of our friends and family to contact Ron DeSantis so that we can do an immediate veto for our hostage that has a case in the state of Florida. And his name again is?
Dominic Box.
Dominic Box and Daniel
And
Ball.
Daniel Ball.
Okay. And so do that. So Box is B-O-X
Yes.
and B-A-L-L.
It's very simple.
Jeremy Brown may be dealing with a similar situation too.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
got 3 people that need some expediting so we can get
Yeah.
them out. This game ain't over.
And,
No.
and I tell you what, here's how corrupt it is, right? Joseph and Olivia, their pretrial, right? Because you're on this really horrid pretrial, stringent conditions, right? I mean, my brother had a bow and arrow, antique bow and arrow, and he almost got violated and sent to jail because they said it was a weapon and he wasn't allowed to have it, right? And Olivia and Joseph,
What? Wait.
yeah.
You mean like an antique string rawhide
Yeah,
bow and arrow,
yeah.
like with probably like an
Yeah.
arrowhead on it? or
Yeah,
something?
yep, exactly.
Like they're stretching, like that's artwork, but we're gonna call it
Right.
a
Because when you're on pretrial, they say, oh, you can't have weapons. Okay. You can't have guns is what they say. And then when they come, oh, your antique bow and arrow that can't even kill a duck is a weapon. And we're going to throw you back in jail. We just got by the skin of our teeth. I mean, he almost got violated there. Joseph and Olivia, they had a violation on their pretrial, and it's coming up in the system. And even though it had to do with January 6th, their pretrial violation for January 6th, and they've been pardoned of it, the jail's like, oh, we see it in the computer system. It looks like it's something different. We're going to hold you. It's the same thing. You got pardoned for this. You would have never had pretrial in the first place if it weren't for this illegal prosecution.
That's right.
And the prosecution signed the papers and dropped all the charges.
Yes.
This should be all dismissed.
Right.
No reason. They should be out. They should have been out.
They're still playing dirty, and we can't have this.
No, we can't. Absolutely, we can't. So it's just like I even heard another thing that they said is before they were going to release these guys, they were actually trying to put them in the general population to start a riot so that the other inmates would shank these guys and kill them. And that didn't happen. But I want you to know how dirty the jail system and the people in there are trying to do it. Again, I need us to bind. I need all the good prosecutors, sheriff, everybody to help me out, help America, because we have one. We're in our house again, by the way. Okay, we're here in our buildings. This is our building. We have taken it back.
Yes,
And it's like, do you guys get any PTSD just being here?
it was weird walking up at first.
Sorry.
It was weird walking up, but no PTSD here because I knew we never did anything wrong, and I know now that we have Trump as president, there's justice now. So it's actually kind of therapeutic being here. It's therapeutic
good to
here
know.
specifically. Yeah.
My little PTSD is when we were sitting in the courtroom eating lunch and looking at the Capitol and having to go through that
Yeah.
horrible trial.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And so are there any other things, are they saying, hey, you guys are free now, or are there any strings attached to this that
We're
you
free.
know?
We're free.
Yeah.
We're free.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, I would take Trump's pardon if I was you and make some really nice copies and actually put it in a frame in my house. Are you
Oh
going to
yeah.
do that?
Oh, we've talked about that.
I mean,
That's going on the wall.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course. I mean, that's something like I would like to actually, this is just me. I'm going to be drinking a beer with these fellas at some point, even if they're not going to join me, but just to talk about that story and to see the pardon. Because
Yeah.
to me, this is more important, don't you think, America, than freeing the hostages in Gaza? Because A, I've never seen them. I don't know if that's real or if it's theatrical. This is real. These are Americans, okay? And we need to protect America first and Americans here at home first. And
America first, that's right.
And yeah, exactly. So just so you know, we could have, don't you think, this is my opinion, we just stole $25 billion for the Ukraine. Don't you think that restitution is owed? And I'm saying to other families, at least 4 million minimum, but to this family, okay? I don't think $500 million could replace the final moments with my mom, period. And I met your dad, and he's a very strong man, and I know he's keeping it together, but nothing can buy that back.
No.
The pain, the suffering, the mental anguish, and it's like, and we're staying strong here, I want you to know that.
Yeah.
But nothing's going to bring that back. So if you're a lawyer and you really want to just help out in the name of God to restore what's right, I don't want just one, I want 12 disciples to come here and help us, bring freedom to everybody. And I think that that's deserved. So Bradley Yost, you better, respond out there. I'm contacting you as one of them, but I need some other people here so that we can make things happen. Now, are you going to leave after Olivia gets out, or are you going to stick around? Or
We're going to stick around for a little bit.
Yeah.
We're going to stick around for a
Make
little
sure Joe
bit.
gets out. And,
Exactly.
yeah.
We don't feel free until our brothers and sisters get out. That's what's so important to us, because that's the thing, when you're in there and nobody's there to support you, which we've had some great patriots calling and texting and staying in contact with us while we're in here, and that's what gets you through it. You feel so left behind.
I'm hearing the sirens, but we're okay.
Yeah.
Not even worried.
Yeah, you're worried at this point, right?
Yeah. Hey, big steak dinner. You looking for a nice steak dinner?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
then we're going to make something like that happen. In fact, we might even go down towards Andre Soriano's or someplace. I think Lauren Boebert went down there, but I want us to get the help of every congresswoman we can. And I know that one of the good ones that's been defending you guys, just so you know, is Marjorie Taylor Greene.
She's great.
know that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And,
We know
From
very
the
well.
beginning.
Yeah.
And so, Marjorie, we love you out there. And
Thank you.
thank you
so
We
much.
love you. Thank
Yeah,
you
we
so
love you.
much. Thank you for being a day one supporter and seeing the truth from the beginning.
Right. Is there any other congressmen out there that was helpful, or people that you can think of that actually have proved themselves to you guys?
Yeah, you know what? Freedom Caucus,
Okay.
right?
What do they do?
They've been there to set constitutional principles, and put America first,
Okay.
limited government, and they don't compromise on those principles, because that's what's in our Constitution. There's things that you can work together and compromise on, but the American rights that are God-given and our liberties, that's what you have to keep. And they've done a great job in that. And they've done a great job in showing the truth of January 6th. And I commend them for that.
Anybody was there a corporation that helped with commissary or people, or did you just have their own family? Or
Yeah, absolutely. Stop Hate with David Summerall,
Good to know.
Stand in the Gap. There are so many great organizations.
That's good to know right there.
Yeah,
So,
Suzanne Monk's been great.
She's a
Suzanne
leader.
Monk.
Now,
Deborah Ashe.
I want Suzanne Monk. She's a total hero. That's the lady with the orange hair lately that's been out there every single night, just so you know. Organizing, being the point lady on the field for us, just so you know.
Writing the J6 Pardon book.
Yeah. The Vigil, Nikki No, Nikki, Nicole. Yeah, Sherry.
And
everybody.
Sherry gave me a J6 band shirt. She's been out there every single day. You know, she's a very decorated war hero, by the way.
She is.
Yeah.
She is. She's tough.
And she's a biker.
Those ladies out there, those were our heroes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. The ones
They
on
were there
that
every
corner
night.
every single night.
Yeah, and then Guy's wife, and Guy's an oil and gas professional just like I am, and his wife is out there every single night too. So it's like, you know, it's like these families are not alone, and I'm so glad to see great women, great wives, and just families that stick together, and that proves the content of your character and who you are.
Right.
You know? So are you going to get into construction immediately, or?
Okay, not gonna get back into plumbing, but maybe helping manage some construction on some of my nephew's buildings.
Okay. Well, so Joe, Iorio, Adam Good, I would like it if we could join forces, and we're doing this new kind of steel magnesium oxide thing. So you're going to hook up with Joe Iorio up there in Long Island and Long Beach.
I would love that.
And yeah, just good people, and you know, I'm sure you miss it.
I'm a hard worker and a fast learner.
You miss having a matzo ball soup too, or anything like that, or a nice spaghetti?
Ooh,
or
that would be
Been
great.
a while.
right?
Yeah, that would be great.
Too long.
Did we ever have spaghetti in there? I mean, it wasn't real spaghetti if we did, but did we have?
We got a spaghetti tray a couple times, but
And that would have been like the highlight from the beans and rice with maggots and rat feces.
Yeah. Oh God.
So, what was the flavor of this rat species? Like, it tastes a little bit like.
it was in my brand cornflakes, and it was dark because they feed us at 6 a.m. They bring our trays in, and you know, typically you wake up and eat real quick and go back to sleep. So we woke up and come to find out, every other tray had rat feces in it. I'm like, done deal. I ate it.
So that's why they need to be parasite cleansed. This is what they do to Americans: poisonous water and rat defecation. Does that work for you? I mean, seriously.
That's horrible.
No.
Right?
Disgusting.
It's not a nutritious diet, I don't think.
All right. Well, then the other thing is, did they put anybody in solitary confinement that you know of, and how long did they have to do?
Oh yeah. People didn't even get a process for solitary confinement, right? They could pretty much make up any reason why they wanted to throw you down there. I know Dominic Box was down there 69 days.
Oh God.
Yeah, and somebody had attacked him, and he was down there for 69 days. And
so he's not going to be the same. He's going to have PTSD from being treated like an animal.
He said, you know, the closed space down there and not being able to go outside of the cell, because you most of the time you're in there 24 hours sometimes, but they're supposed to let you in there 23 hours and then 1 hour to take a shower, and you're in this closed space. And he said he would have to like take these super deep breaths and meditate because he was getting so claustrophobic.
Oh, and you don't have a watch or a clock in there, so you really don't know or daylight. So you don't. It's torture. You don't know how long you're in there for.
You don't control your lights. You typically only have hot water coming out of your faucet,
and they're making you drink usually from there out of the toilet. The toilet thing. Now, what were your cells like, or your rooms like, or how many people were in each one? Or
it was a 4 foot or a 7 foot by 10 foot rectangle.
Less than that. It's eight little tiles. So the width, I could put my arms, and I'm about 5'9".
I'm 6 foot, and my bunk was the whole length, so maybe a little over 6 foot.
Yeah, your bunk is the width. Your bunk is the width. Then the bunk is probably about 6 foot.
So you were treated like total animals.
Absolutely, 100%.
We lived in our bathrooms.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then probably the only book that was in there that actually meant anything to you is your Bible.
The Bible.
Yep.
And so I want you to know, it's been something for me, and it's been something for these men. We all need faith, and we all need Jesus. And when you're really put up against the wall, that's when they say, for when we are weak, he is strong.
Yes, amen.
And so, you're at your strongest points. And now we're all like disciples of the Lord right now.
Yep.
And
learning more about faith, I promise you that.
Definitely a new strength in faith, because when you're through this tough time and you only have him, you have to connect. And he shows you, hey, even though I have this tough time here, I'm actually doing this for you. I'm working this for you, and that's going to be for the greater good in the long run. So, you know, the Christian motto, right? Hold fast.
Yes.
Keep the faith.
I'm wanting Sherry and Suzanne to work with you guys so that you can be the new. So we're starting something called the Doge Reporter, and that's the Department of Government Efficiency. And Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are spearheading it with us, but I would like to have January 6ers as our sergeants, lieutenants on the front row. We need to go through the Pentagon. We need to see they're all being reported to work. And by the way, today, here's some news. We had 42,000 IRS agents that were fired today, which tells me cryptocurrency is going to be real.
Oh yeah.
Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing you don't know. Vladimir Putin has requested that Dr. Anthony Fauci will be extradited to Russia because he's going to, in my opinion, he's going to teach him about gravity from about a 10-story building. But Vladdy P and the KGB has asked for Dr. Fauci against crimes against humanity. And I think that's the tip of the iceberg, because once that goes, we're going to have other things and other people that were connected to that.
Yeah.
And how far, because this goes back to AIDS, cancer, everything else like that. Did they try to give you guys, speaking of which, any type of weird shots or things like that while you're in there? Because they do usually. I mean,
we had gotten a shot when we first went into intake, and I honestly can't remember what it was.
Probably TB.
TB in the arm.
Yep.
That's
Tuberculosis. Yeah. And that's.
I came in with high blood pressure, and they were feeding me medicine, and my leg was swelling. My legs were swelling up. So let me stop this medicine. My legs went down. My blood pressure went down. It was but they kept feeding me the medicine I wasn't taking. I got a whole envelope of it, and they just they don't care about it.
Yeah, because basically we're lab rats, and it's not like name brand. It's like, let's give these guys an experimental something to see if it works. People don't know that the CDC works with the prison union to see what inmates can take. It's kind of like, oh, he needs whatever name brand there is. Well, let's give him a generic or some sort of new experiment and see how he responds. And that's why I think we get this. But here's a main concern for me. I had no idea about the water being cloudy and all of you guys having prostate issues. This is very serious, and understand it was a mild poisoning that you went through, and they damn well know it. So we've got to work at chelating all that stuff out. I told you every second you got 800,000 cells that are reproduced. You got to get all the parasites out of your body. You will. And drink distilled water, orange juice, pineapple juice, not being distilled. And this is for everybody out there that's on January 6th. Now, Gregory here, I want you to talk to Joe Iorio. He's gonna do something fantastic for you. He just made a 73 unit old folks home out there.
It's great.
But
great job.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy, and we're a family. We're gonna take care of each other.
Absolutely.
And so, any other things? What's your favorite restaurant you miss?
Oh man.
Or what types of food?
Steak. When you mentioned that steakhouse, I was like, oh yeah.
That's what I said.
Filet mignon, some asparagus, and a baked potato, and a cold beer. I would love that.
Any real food. That's all we care about at this point.
To Red Line Diner.
Yeah, right. We'll go to the Red Line Diner. That'd be cool, Dad.
And just so you know, there's Dad right there. And Dad's been there the whole time. And thank you so much. And I'm so sorry about you losing your wife.
Thank you.
Yeah, totally. And I hope that you stick it to this government for splitting your family apart. I can't express my anger that I have at them and the compassion I have for you guys, but I'm hoping that the whole nation feels it. This nation, see, look at that, 100%. This nation.
I want my kids to grow up in freedom, and my grandkids to grow up in freedom. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're doing this. And it's just like, look, Dad's got a cane, and then Mom, this, I know because I'm a dad. I got 5 kids and 3 grandkids, and it's like, if this happened to one of my kids, it deteriorates us because we live for our kids. And, it's up to the duties of a parent to pretend like we're strong, but when our babies are hurting, we can't get it off our mind, and we can't do anything else.
Right.
So thank God your dad gets to take his son home.
He's an amazing father. Melissa was an amazing mother. They raised 3 great boys. I know them. They did an amazing job. You did an amazing job, bud.
This is my uncle right here. My mom was sister.
Yeah.
Oh, so your sister.
My sister, my oldest sister.
Your oldest sister passed away.
Yeah.
My gosh. What was your mom's name? Your sister's name?
Melissa.
Yeah.
Melissa Purdy.
Well, I want you to know she's here with us, and she's just happy that everybody's finally home.
She definitely is.
Yeah.
She
2
definitely
nights ago,
is.
she visited me twice in my dream, and she doesn't usually come visit me. She visited me twice in my dream. I don't know what that was about.
That's awesome, Dad. That's so awesome. Your letter that she wrote before she passed, you had sent it to me while I was in jail in August, and I'm just seeing it now because I was in jail. I couldn't see my cell phone, and
Oh wow.
we read that letter in the car actually. So that was cool.
That was really
That
cool.
that she wrote, and that was very sweet.
I'm glad that she got to say something like that. You know, and you guys had that was special for you. You know.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It's beautiful.
So this is a reality. A lot of people don't know this. They hear about January 6th. They don't think about the families that were torn apart. They say that a lot of people think that there were criminals. They don't know that come on, we all knew Trump won. We actually showed up. People showed up because we thought there would be a victory celebration.
Yep.
And then they turned it into this. In my opinion, Pelosi and Vance single-handedly turned it into an insurrection that they committed.
Or at least an investigation into the election fraud.
Oh, absolutely. And then with California, in my opinion, there's no way the state of California's been voting for Dianne Feinstein and Nancy Pelosi. You don't have a whole bunch of Hispanics voting for old Jewish ladies and Italian ladies, I don't think. I could be wrong. But are there anything else that the audience out there would like to hear? And sometimes you guys could, you might tell us, so we know that the feds infiltrated it. And other than that, we're seeing that Pelosi and Schumer did this. Yes, that's correct.
Yep.
Billy, thank you for your comments and our Friends and Family Network. But American News Network and Major News Network is going to be behind you guys 100%.
Thank you.
This is not the last interview that you will see with these guys. In fact, anything that we can do just to keep this ball rolling, because they're doing well now, but they are under duress, and PTSD is at the ultimate high, but it's going to come down every single day.
Absolutely.
And we went there that fateful day because we love our country.
That's it.
And we knew what was going to happen to our country if Joe Biden took over. We knew it. We told everybody about it. We didn't want it to happen. It happened. So
Yeah.
And look at how right we are.
We were right.
I mean, this guy, Joe Biden, almost ruined our entire country in like one administration.
How do you ruin it that quick?
I thought it would.
How do you do that?
I thought it would take at least 2 administrations
Right.
or 3 to do that, but to do it in one, it's like that's pretty amazing. So he's an amazingly bad president.
Right. It almost takes skill to ruin it that quick.
Right. Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
almost like you have to actively be trying to ruin our country.
Or
What do
maybe
you think?
Have a deep state.
Right. It's almost like
Yeah.
almost like he had 50 years experience
Exactly.
preparing
Yeah.
himself
Right.
to throw an
He knew
insurrection
exactly what he was
against
doing.
our country. Huh?
Yep.
Okay, so we're hearing, and Vim Miller's actually here behind us with American Happens Network. Him and I are actually forming the Doge Reporter, dogereporter.com. And that's America Happens Network with American News Network and Major News Network. We're doing the Voltron thing, and that's because we believe that Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, and President Trump is going to say, you know what? You guys have bigger numbers. You've been reporting the truth. Everybody's watching you. We know that NPR, CNN are lying. They're going to get 15,000 views. We're going to get 200,000 on Facebook, 150 million on TikTok. They're not the media anymore. We are, and I'd be honored to have you guys on the team in media in any way.
Absolutely love to.
And then we've got
Any way I can.
thank you. So why? These guys have been there. They've proven themselves 100%. And this is the only way in which we can save America. This is, and I've heard, I don't know if you've heard this, but I've heard that, Michelle Obama, Big Mike, hasn't been around. And there's news about even Barack Obama dating Jennifer Aniston. But I believe myself that, Big Mike, as soon as Tafari Campbell exposed the fact that Mike Obama might be a man, they killed their cook. And it's and this has gone really out of control. So we have Macron that's had a transitional partner. We had Obama that did, and that's why they were trying to make all of our kids transitional.
Yeah.
So, I mean, God has triumphed, and now we're experts in the Bible, and we darn well know that he's triumphed, right? So
They were pushing it in the prison too.
Were they really?
Yeah, that's a whole nother story.
do they do the free transitional thing in there too?
Yeah, they do,
believe
and they
they do,
try
yeah.
they
Yeah.
try to push it on people.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
Oh well,
It was scary.
See, and then just so you know, it was just made illegal by President Trump. Thank God.
Thank God.
So we have the
Look at that.
IRS fired. We have DEI going out the window, and we needed to make it go out the window.
Oh
right?
yeah.
So,
Getting our country back.
anything else to share with us? Vim, do you have some questions you'd like to ask here, sir?
No, I think this was great. Great job, guys, and thank you for being American heroes. Seriously, thank you for going through all this nonsense, and we're going to win this country back, and justice is coming back.
Now, here, get over here with me too, because I got to add
Sure.
something. Yeah, so,
now I'm filming you.
okay, so now I want you to know, everybody here, me, myself too included, but Vim Miller, America Happens Network. A lot of people don't know he's been a journalist that has shot Newt Gingrich and all of the big greats. And California Sheriff painted our friend Vim here as the third assassin. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so when there was a little thing that happened out there, they said Vim Miller's the third assassin. And Newt Gingrich and President Trump immediately said, I think you got this one wrong. Because, we... Same boat. They knew that, this is the media that's protecting Trump and exposing January 6th.
How'd they get that name?
And what's
How'd they
that?
get his name?
Oh, long story. I drove up to the Coachella. I should say this since we're live.
Yeah.
I was doing surveillance on semi-trucks that were transporting illegal ballots. And in fact, on the East Coast, they actually caught some of those in Pennsylvania. On the West Coast, the same thing seems to have been happening. I was following these guys around, doing surveillance at dangerous locations. So I had a couple of firearms in the back, lawful firearms, one shotgun, one Glock. I went to the Trump Coachella rally because I had special invitations from the Clark County Republican Party. As I'm driving, and I don't even try to enter, everything they said was a lie. So as I'm driving to enter the private parking lot, before I even try to go in the private parking lot, I just tell the officer that, hey, I'm just letting you know, full transparency, I got a couple of firearms in the back. They tell me to pull over. Another cop comes over, says, what are you doing here? So he didn't even know what was going on. I say, well, the other guy told me to pull over here because I was just being transparent with you guys. I got a couple of firearms in the back. And my thing was, they might, because of the increased security due to Butler and the other psycho, they might tell me to make a U-turn and leave. But what they did instead is they arrested me, right?
Oh my
They
God.
put me in jail. I get out at 1:30 in the morning. 7:30 I wake up. I go to the taco place right by my crappy motel, which was the only place I could find, by the way, because everything was booked. And I find out that this guy's calling me the third assassin.
Don't let the truth get in the way of a headline, right?
Exactly. And it was so salacious. And luckily, I'm friends with a lot of patriots and, amazing people like Chris Sanders over here, Roger Stone, Alex Jones, Mindy Robinson. I mean, the names are endless. Like 100 amazing patriots came to my rescue. General Flynn, and said, there's no way this guy's an assassin. And really, they got me out of some really crazy stuff because it felt my life was on the line. I was actually in hiding because we've been doing the freedom media for a while. We expose a lot of people, and we've always felt that our lives are on the broad.
They have attacked us or tried to run us down even when we go to the Freedom Corner.
Yeah.
And it's
Wow.
and the people giving us the finger, throwing stuff at our vehicles.
I'd be terrified of you guys because you're exposing it all the time.
Yeah. It's like
yeah.
I'd show up with the vehicle and throwing stuff at my car, literally. Even last night, same thing. We're walking around and we're getting the middle finger by the locals, but at the beginning it was different. Now there's one or two. It used to be like mobs of angry people.
Yeah.
And so now
They
they're
don't even know who you are, really.
Right.
They're told.
They're told.
you see it. It was like you see a Trump hat, or even not. It was funny. Their sign is you just have an American flag and they would attack you.
Right.
It's like what makes you what? I'm not saying what side I'm on. I'm just saying I love this country.
Yeah.
And everything else you're saying is an assumption.
Right.
But how can the American flag paint me as being on any side, other than the side of an American, proving that they are the traitors? They are the people that don't deserve to be here. In my opinion, if you don't respect the flag and love the flag, don't be here. If you burn the flag, a veteran has the right to totally kick your butt into the ground, period. Even if he destroys you, that is his right because he's lost his friends fighting for us.
Mm-hmm.
And
They've forced some division on us for 20 years now, dividing us 50-50. One side gets a little stronger, they boost the other side. So we're always constantly at each other's throats and hating on each other. Hate.
Yeah, and hate creates hate.
Right.
Just like love creates love.
Exactly.
And so Jesus taught us to love thy neighbor and do unto others the way you want done to you.
Right.
Do you want to throw all your relatives and neighbors in jail and prison? Does this reflect America? Absolutely not. As you can see, it's a multicultural family here. And, you know, I have Asian, Native, Norwegian, German in me. We have Armenian here. You know, I don't know where...
Ghana.
Blackfoot, Cherokee, and German.
Okay, Cherokee and German. By the way, a lot of people don't know the Cherokees were the first one of the matriarchal tribes out here with the Iroquois. You know what I like telling everybody out here? Do you guys know that the lady that stands on top of our Capitol is an Iroquois medicine woman that was George Washington's friend? And she was the lady that said, I will give you this country so long as you adopt the Cherokee, Iroquois, our nation's first 3 words. And it was the native constitution. And the first 3 words she gave to George Washington was "We the people." And that's why she's on top of our Capitol today. So many people don't know that it is a female Indian that graced our founding fathers. And if they weren't a matriarchal tribe, we wouldn't have our country. If it was men out here, you know, they would have murdered them.
Yeah.
But these women had compassion. And they said, just say "we the people." And so that means why we have every right to come in here, because it's "we the people." So they're violating the first 3 words.
Yeah.
And so I want the natives to stand together, locked in arms. We freed Leonard Peltier. I want you to know that the FBI violated by trespassing on a sovereign nation. We have 2 sovereign nations in this country, the Pueblo Indian Nation and the Sioux Lakota Indian Nation. The reason why they're nations in our country is because we never took them over. General Custer actually died when he fought the Sioux. So General Custer's last stand, right?
Right.
So we never took them over. It's their own nation. So what they did was, after kind of the Kennedy era, the FBI and the CIA were all out of whack like they were with you guys.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, and here's what I like to say and what they did so you'll understand. What they did is they turned the Sioux Lakota Indian Nation into a reservation the day they put Leonard Peltier and the other leaders in prison for like no charges they could prove. Same exact thing they did to us in America.
Right.
They turned the United States of America into a reservation through fear, okay? Because they're like, we're gonna lock up innocent Americans and ruin everybody's life for doing nothing wrong, and we're gonna kill Ashley Babbitt, and we're not gonna do anything about it. And by doing that, they turned our beautiful country, and from a sovereign nation, into a reservation of slaves being run by Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff, and people that don't have any right or any support, and they can't prove to the American public as far as, you know, their true base of voters.
No popular support.
Right. And California's popular support is completely unbelievable in every sort of way.
Right.
And the only states in which, I don't know if you know this, that Hills Up Harris won, are states where there's no voter ID requirement. Did you hear that?
I didn't know it was every single one.
Every single one.
So she didn't win one state where there's voter ID. She only won states where there was no voter ID. What do you think about that? Now, I'm going to tell you, we got the can't states. Can't. California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. Those 4 governors can't do their jobs. And there is a supremacy clause in the Constitution that means that the Constitution's the supreme law of the land.
Right.
Well, in the opening preamble of the Constitution, they have to give us general welfare.
Right.
They have to give us peace and tranquility. Okay?
Right.
They have to also give us something called posterity. We don't look up that word. What does the word posterity mean? We don't use it today, but they did back then, and why? So what posterity means is that the rights of my child as an American should be ahead of other foreigners' children. You didn't know that, did you? And so we, the people of the United States, in the opening preamble, what if I told you that Congress, the House of Representatives, the Supreme Court, they're all in violation of the opening preamble of the Constitution, which actually gives them the power to govern us.
Right.
And if they have ignored every single demand that gives them the power to govern us,
Right.
I think it's time that we kick them out of office completely. In fact, if we had a national vote, America, and this is what I'm asking for, this is a call to action. I want us to do a bill where we basically retire every politician, every congressman, every senator, every judge that has served for over 8 years. Just like the president, there needs to be term limitations across the board, 1. 2, we need to make it to where lobbying is illegal, because there's no difference between lobbying and bribing. If I give you money for a favor, that's a bribe.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That is what lobbyists do. And I believe that a lobbyist bribed them to throw you guys in prison. And I believe that we're going to find out who paid who to put you guys in there.
That would be great to find that
I believe we're
out.
going to do that. And I believe that then from my investigations, we're going to find out that it's tied into the Israeli lobbyists. Yeah, in the Ukraine, because the people that have made all the money during this administration, we went from Afghanistan to the Ukraine to Israel. All the money is going to Zelensky and Benjamin Netanyahu, and they're both Jewish people. So why did we give all of our money to Israel and throw you guys in prison? And then we talk about the hostages in Israel every day on the news. Every day. They're so important. And they took all, but we never talked about the hostages in America.
Right.
Honestly, I could give a rat's ass about the hostages in Israel, okay, or the hostages in another country, because we got American Jews here. We have American Jews that are January 6ers.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like if we need to free a Jew, free the American Jew that was a January 6er. If you want to free any country, I could pick Mexico, Africa. Guess what? We're all there because we represent the United States. There was no one race of people or one religion of people there. This was basically an insurrection that happened against us, pure and simple.
Yes.
However, I bet a lot of people, even if they had other faiths, something that we learn, tell me that most of the people came to the Lord, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Because we learn in the end, love is the most important thing.
It is.
And the only person that teaches us the full, you know why I call Christianity the finished religion? Because in Islam and every other faith we say, God, do you understand me? I'll pray 5 times a day if you understand me. But only in this religion does God say, do I understand you? I gave you my only begotten son so that you could live and be saved. What don't you understand about that?
Right. Very simple.
Yeah, and with that, I'd like to say amen. Thank you so much. And we're going to do some more stuff, Bim and I.
Yeah.
But love all of you. Give me a hug here.
Love you too, brother.
And the truth is going to come out. Thank you.
Oh,
thank you so much.
Thank you. And you know, we got to get our health out.
Group hug action. Truth's gonna come out. 100%.
And you know what? Let's get each other healthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
You said some great things.
Yeah, and so
great things.
And I tell you what, it's all about health. Again, these guys' prostates have been taken out. Their kidneys need help. Their liver needs help. They've gotten poisoned water. Okay, they can barely dribble to urine, and this is because we've been poisoned. So what we're going to do is a progress report. Would you guys like to see a progress report?
That'd be great.
Would our audience like to see how their health progresses? Would you? Because I think that we need to make each other healthy again and just see how this works. The distilled water, and don't drink the water. Don't drink the water in New Jersey and New York because the drones were flying over there. They weren't transparent. I have a lot of people that are on our show that said that the drones were dropping stuff over the New York and New Jersey water system.
Wow.
And that the water tastes different.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Okay, yes. And then in Florida they were fogged, and the fog came through on their air filters.
Really?
It was a poisonous fog.
Yeah.
And in California they got fires. So I believe we're being attacked by China right now. Okay? And so our enemies are anybody that are not for us. So China has been hitting us. Israel has been draining us financially. And as such, China wants to wipe Israel off the map because they're both competing for American attention. The easiest thing for us to do is to shut the door on both of them, increase their tariffs, and say, look, yeah, you want to deal with us, you got to pay for it. But I'll tell you something. I don't know if you know this. United States USS Ford, Gerald Ford Strike Group, we're getting hit by the Houthis right now. And the Houthis are getting all of their war weaponry from China. Now, they weren't my enemy when they were just hitting Israel, but as soon as you hit the United States Navy, you're our enemy.
Yeah.
So there you go. And I believe that those enemies are the ones that were behind throwing you guys in jail.
That's
Has
terrible.
to be.
Yeah.
Because how else could you throw innocent Americans in jail for following their constitutional rights to peacefully assemble in a building we own?
Right. The People's House.
Yeah, because last I checked, they work for us. It's not the other way around. We don't work for them. They work for us.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
So how did our employees throw their bosses in prison?
Right.
These are grounds for immediate termination. And so Vivek Ramaswamy, Elon Musk. Now, Elon, you're not a citizen, so prove to us that you're worth your salt, and we want you to be so badly, but you need to help us really clean house. We need to kick out a lot of the people that are not doing their job in the CIA, the FBI, and also law enforcement. We got rid of the IRS today, but again, we can't be controlled. It's kind of like the war on drugs is a war on us. Well, the war on freedom is a war on us too. And the war on being conservative is being a war on us. Being a man is illegal. Have you figured that out?
That's what it seems like. I mean, they are weakening our culture, weakening men. I mean, you look at men like back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, they actually looked different because they were eating more healthy. Yeah. Now you've got all these horrible.
It's the vaccines, it's the food.
Well, it's
men are feminine.
Yeah. So when we were born, it was probably 2% gay. Now it's like 50% gay. Now I'm going to tell you why. Grazon, diazon, and atrazine. There's a brilliant professor, Tyrone B. Hayes, out of Berkeley University, and the atrazine in the Dallas, Texas water system literally started feminizing fish and animals and hermaphrodites. Yeah. And you can see it in the men.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's nuts. So to make us healthy, that's why I'm telling you more importantly, do you understand why I'm telling you to not drink the tap water?
Right.
So it's not just chlorine, it's not lye, it's also diazon, grazine, atrazine, and that stuff is in fluoride too. And it's calcifying our pineal gland to where we're not spiritual. And you know what that does more than anything? And that separates us from God.
Yeah.
And the ability to like project and manifest, and understand our Father who art in heaven.
Yeah.
I always try to say that. Jesus didn't say my Father, did he?
Right.
What was the lesson there?
Us together, the people, Yeah.
It's like, in other words, we all share the same Father.
Exactly.
And our Father is in heaven. We have that direct link.
That's how we're all connected.
That's right. And again, no greater love is this than someone that has laid down their life for those that love them.
Yeah.
And that's happened for us.
Right.
And I'm just so glad that we won.
Oh my gosh, what a relief.
We knew we were.
Understand something too. Darkness does not understand the light.
Right.
And there really only might be 144,000 of us that truly understand. And we are the disciples of Christ to fight for freedom.
Yeah.
Because it just seems like with the fires in Los Angeles, almost like a Sodom and Gomorrah situation. You have everybody slowly leaving. And then the fire, it's going on tonight. And the whole city's burning.
Yeah.
And then in New York, it's like, again, be careful about the water.
Yeah.
If it smells different, if it tastes different, if your neighbors have seen, drones, we have video footage. You haven't seen YouTube in a while, but there's drone footage of like big drones dropping stuff in the water table. Yeah. And so I think it's the Chinese. Our government has not been transparent. And just so you know, to update you on the war scenario, they got a Chinese fractional orbital bombardment system. They already have nukes hovering in outer space. Now, Russia's got what's called Poseidon, which is a big nuclear torpedo. And he now has 9 nuclear missiles that all go from like Mach 7 to Mach 22.
Wow.
If he wanted to take us out, he's not. I try telling everybody Russia's not our enemy. It's really China. And they're working in tandem with the Houthis. And I'm not saying the Chinese are bad. I'm just saying Xi Jinping and some of his henchmen need term limitations also.
Yeah.
So this is all about government control, people that try to use religion to manipulate us. And over there, you can't have anything. But, hopefully we can prevail with everything that we do.
Taking back the people's house.
Yep.
Taking back our country, President Trump winning, that's the first step. But just because we won, we have to stay vigilant. We have to keep going. We have to not pump the brakes. We have to pump the gas, and we have to continue this momentum that we got and really come together now as Americans more than ever.
I agree.
We have an update. Olivia Pollack and Joe Hutchinson are out.
They're out. Woo! They're released.
All right.
That is the greatest
Praise
news.
God. Now,
To give them a hug.
I'll tell you
So
why.
we're going to hug them.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're probably going to go there. Let's go and meet him.
Let's do it.
And also, it's been the thing for me. I'll just let you know. I have a daughter named Olivia, so I've taken it very personal with her.
Wow.
So I'm just like, she's got to get out.
That's a beautiful
Because I
thing.
look at it as like, man, this could be my baby.
Yeah.
She's out right now.
Well,
She's somebody's baby. And she's
that's
out.
right. And
She's out.
her parents have been there, and her parents were so dedicated. They even gave Sherry a van so she could stay out there and defend you guys.
Wow.
So that family's been tremendous.
family
The
are
Pollack family.
They are so
the Pollack-
amazing.
The Pollack family and your family are the families that just need to be compensated for being tortured and just taken apart. No kidding. So we're going to go see Olivia. We're going to go back out to Freedom Corner. I just wanted to be here at the Capitol. We got a few buildings here at the Capitol. For me, it's closure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Such closure.
Because it was like the last you saw was maybe just BS footage of an insurrection, and now you see us wearing our Trump hats, and we have won, and the lie is over. Amen.
Amen.
God bless you guys. Anything else?
America healthy, America wealthy, and Americans first. That's our goal.
Couldn't say it any better. We love you guys. Thanks for listening in, and thank you for being the true patriots of America.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. God bless you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Beautiful. Nice job, man. You're a great speaker.
Thank you for letting us
Dude, nice job, brother. I know your hand was getting tired with that camera. We were like this, kind of trying to hold each other. Yeah. I'm like thinking in my head,
I don't know if you just kept saying, I'm like, to Chris, I'm like,
dude, I saw like the muscle in like your finger, like almost like turning red. And
like this guy never stops talking.
I'm like, my back is getting tired.
And I'm thinking, I gotta get an editing.
oh my God.
You keep going to point to point to point.
Yeah.
There's never a lapse. Like you're good at connecting everything.